Alright guys, we have two amazing EZAs for you today, starting with who I believe to be the better out of the two, and that is the Strength Super Saiyan Goku Exchange Gohan unit. I do have only the one dupe, but they are level 10 links. Cannot wait to try them out. We do have them on the 10th anniversary Vegito's 220 lead. We also have got Gogeta here as well, another unit that can benefit from his ridiculous amount of support. We have him really ideally linked up as well. Once we super attack, get that Kamehameha active, we're all pretty much good to go. So we have every link pretty much active. And we're starting with a 492k attack stat, 320k defense. And don't forget as well, on super attack, Goku is going to be stacking attack by 50% each time. And then getting 50% defense for the one turn. We are starting with Ki +2, attack and defense plus 200%. And then not only that, when attacking with 12 or more Ki, which is pretty much when you super attack, which is always guaranteed, unless you get like -10 Ki against Officer Black, which is, I still think, ridiculous. But 159% attack and defense for doing that. And then for 5 turns from entry, we're getting an extra 159 defense, 70% chance to crit, 70% chance of an additional super, and a 70% chance to dodge as long as it's after they super attack. So remember, their dodge chance does not kick in until Goku super attacks, not before. So remember that. That is key. So with pretty much every single link active, what are we going to see them putting out? 13.5 mil. That is a pretty good start, considering, again, we're going to be stacking our attack 50% each time. There is the built-in additional, 14.5. Can we get the potential system additional as well to get a third stack? We got it. 15.6. As I said, we are jumping up a lot. And the beauty about their active skill to get the exchange into Gohan, it can be activated after performing only 3 super attacks, which we've literally got already. So if you have at least one dupe in this unit or skill orbs, and you are lucky enough on their first appearance to get the hidden potential additional, you can literally exchange into Gohan their following turn. So the earliest of turn 3, you can exchange into Gohan, which we're not going to do. The best way to run this unit is not only in slot 2 or slot 3, but probably slot 2, especially as a stacker. The best way you want to do this is, considering we have all of those buffs for 5 turns from entry, the 159% defense and the 70% chance to crit, additional super and dodge, your best bet is have Goku in for 5 turns, stack him up for 5 turns. Hopefully you get as many of those additionals as possible, and the potential system is on your side. And then by the time those 5 turns are up, because starting from the 6th turn, you go down to 59% defense, 50% chance to crit, 50% chance of an additional super, and 50% chance to dodge, which is still pretty good. That said, you might as well make the most of those 5 turns. So after those 5 turns are up, then you probably want to exchange into Gohan rather than do it early. I mean, you can do. Sometimes you need to when, you know, events are getting techie. You know, you never know, you might have to. But the fact you can have that as earliest as turn 3, it's really nice. So already they're up to a 1.95 million attack stat, and we've only stacked 3 whole times. We don't even have All in the Family currently active either. So we're actually missing out on some defense. But already we're up to a 1.95 million attack stat. We have jumped up a whole bunch. And they've only appeared once. And they've only stacked 3 times. But again, I think it's really nice that you can pop their active as early as turn 3. As I said, your best bet is definitely doing it after those 5 turns. You can keep Goku out as long as possible. Because again, 50% chance to crit, 50% chance of an additional, and 50% chance to dodge after supering is all very nice. It can still all work really well. It's just you're playing with a lot more risk and a lot more RNG of you potentially not getting those coin flips go your way. So if you're going to do it as early as possible, definitely do it after the 5 turns. If you want to take the risk and stack up some more attack, which is definitely not a bad idea, because we're up to 20 mil as it is, then by all means go for it. Should be doable, especially if you give Goku dodge in the potential system. There's another one, 21.66 we're already up to, and he's only super attacked, what, 5 times? We didn't get the potential system this time, but there is the dodge kicking in. Obviously, that is going to happen a lot less starting from turn 6. So again, best bet is to exchange after turn 5. Then after Goku does dodge, you also get an additional 59% attack and defense. Now, the only annoying thing about this, right, is you don't really get to benefit from the 59% attack because you get it after you dodge, which of course you only get after you super attack. So it's a double-edged sword. It's great you get these stats after you dodge, but you only get the dodge after you super attack. So as I said, you don't really get to benefit from the attack within the same turn. You get to benefit from the defense, which is probably a bit more important if we're being completely honest. But we'll be sensible and we'll stack some defense here. Just so we do have... I mean, to be fair, the Super Saiyan 4s could probably go there, but just so we have a bit more of a slot 1 unit right now. But in that turn, you do not get to benefit from the 59% attack, which, as I said, the defense is probably more important. But it's a bit of a double-edged sword there. But then there's no cap on it. So, as I said when we got their EZA details, that 59% extra attack we're getting, or 59% extra attack defense we're getting, is that literally just for the turn? Is that literally applied only for that turn? Or is that 59% attack and defense applied to their stats every time Goku dodges? Which is that, if that's the case, then that means you just keep getting 59% attack and defense every time Goku dodges, and then you can just make the most of it the following turn he appears. And if it does work that way, to me, that is pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. So if someone can let me know down in the comments, because that is the only part of his passive I'm slightly unsure about, whether you just get it once, which in that case, you don't get to benefit from the attack, or if it's applied once and it sticks, or the third one being, you keep just getting 59% attack and defense every time he dodges, which I think that might be the case, especially with how fast his attack is building up. Because we're already on 27 mil. Actually, I don't think it does, because we're only on 427,000 now in terms of defense. We would have more. So I think it's only applied within the turn, which means you don't really ever get to benefit from the attack. So I guess I've kind of just answered my own question. But they're up to 2.73 million already. We're going to slide you into slot 1. Actually, how many times they appeared? 5. So this is literally their last turn. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to hit the exchange now, because we can line up the Gogeta support, we can line up Gohan coming out, and we can just do the whole shebang. Now, it would help if I actually had the animations on, wouldn't it? Let's try that again.
I give up. I learned how strong you really are. That's it. I quit. Go. It's your turn, son. You can do it.
All right. I'll try.
Gohan is here. Gohan is ready. We're looking at a 2 million attack stat, only 296k defense. So now that Gohan is out, of course, the stacking does stop. But he does raise his attack and defense both by 100% on super. Does have key +2 and attack and defense +250. And this is where things get juicy. So the more HP remaining, the more defense we gain, up to 158%. From his entry, we get 3 turns of guard and 58% damage reduction. And then not only that as well, after your guard is activated twice, which is very easy to do with the amount of attacks that happen during difficult content like Red Zone. I mean, we don't really gain too much. I think I'm going to do this because this should give us all in the family, right? Yes, it does. And we go up to 353k defense. I'm not going to get Gogeta out just yet. I'll do it after seeing this turn of Gohan without any extra buffs. And then we'll get Gogeta out. But after our guard is activated twice, we get 158% defense. Of course, double digits on that. And an extra 10% damage reduction. And a 20% crit chance. So we go up to 68% damage reduction for Gohan being hit twice. If his guard is activated 3 times, he gets an extra 158% attack and defense, 10% damage reduction, and 30% chance to crit, going up to 50% chance to crit and 78% damage reduction. Then, if Gohan's guard gets activated 5 times in battle, you will have guaranteed guard, 10% damage reduction, and a 50% chance to crit. Now, I actually missed how much he's putting on super attack here from reading his details. No additional, though. Guard activated once, guard activated twice, guard activated 3 times, which means we have the extra 158 defense, 10% damage reduction, 20% chance to crit, 158% attack and defense, 10% damage reduction, and 30% chance to crit. The only thing we don't have is having his guard activated 5 times. And then just to make him just a bit more broken, when he receives a Ki Blast super attack, he does have a 70% chance to nullify and counter, which is huge. And then if your HP is at 77% or less, Gohan will guarantee nullify and counter. Kind of similar-ish, except the HP condition is attached to him, to SSJ for Gogeta. So if all that damage reduction, guard, and crit chance, attack and defense that Gohan does get from... Let me turn the animations off now. That he does get from having his guard active wasn't enough, he also can nullify, which is pretty crazy if you ask me. It is pretty crazy how much Gohan has defensively. The amount of defensive utility he has is pretty insane. And this is why while Cell looks good, I haven't used him yet. While he looks good, while he looks very solid, while he worked really well with the brand new Cell, while that definitely is the case, this is why, to me, the Goku and Gohan unit is definitely the better out of the two. He just does so much and has so much defensive utility that he just seems, I don't want to say unstoppable, but he just seems as like one of the best EZA TURs in the entire game. But not only that, to round out his passive, after Gohan does receive an attack, he does get 58% extra attack. So when we do get Gogeta out, I'll probably slide him in slot 1. We could have probably slid him in slot 1 then, but because of the group attack, because we'd only just switched into Goku, and we'd only just really got the Gogeta on rotation, they kind of have no defense with type disadvantage, so I kind of wanted to build that up, especially with the AoE. But Gohan going in slot 1 is something we're definitely going to do, just because he has so much damage reduction along with guard for 3 turns. As long as we activate his guard 5 times, we'll have that permanently. Like, there is just so much going for him. We're not going to get Vegito out because I don't want to kill Cell. I want to have my Gohan Gogeta rotation. And as I said, he's another unit that can benefit from Gogeta's ridiculous support. And the funny thing is, we actually kind of exchanged slightly prematurely. Like, we could have gone one more turn of Goku having 70% chance to dodge after super, 70% chance to crit, 70% chance of an additional super. We could have gone one more turn of Goku stacking, so we could have got 2 or 3 more stacks in. Have Gohan do even more damage by the time we exchange. But just in case, we exchange him a little bit earlier than I would have wanted to. So as I said, we could have had one more turn of stacking, so Gohan would have been just a bit more stronger. Not that he probably needs it, but it would have been nice. You know, big number go boom and everything. Let's not talk about that. I did get an extra stack onto Goku, so I think Gohan's just a tad bit stronger this time round. We have the Gogeta support going. The Gogeta active is indeed live. We are now going to slide Gohan into slot 1. There is a super attack in slot 1, funny enough, but we have our guard. We have our 58% damage reduction. We're going to activate our guard in slot 1 a ton of times. So we should be getting that extra 158% defense. The extra... Actually, we can get rid of the AoE. Although I'm not overly bothered about doing that. We do get the extra 158% defense, the extra 10% damage reduction, 20% crit chance, then 3 times active, 158% attack and defense, 10% damage reduction, 30% crit chance, and then for 5 times active, guaranteed guard, 10% damage reduction, 50% chance to crit, along with being able to nullify, which we could do here, which he did. Send that back. Send that back. Hold that shit. 1.6 mil. Actually, no, that's more than that, right? Is that 16 mil? 1.6. 39.7 mil from the boy. Don't forget 100% attack and defense on super attack each time. You're activating my guard again. You've just activated my guard probably about the full 5 times. So this is how easy it could potentially be depending on where you put Gohan, which of course he does have slot 1 capabilities, especially when his guard is activated multiple times, and even more so with Gogeta's support. But he does have slot 1 capabilities. He's an amazing slot 2 unit, especially with all that damage reduction, guard, all the extra defense he gets, the 100% attack and defense he gets on super attack, especially if you additional the possibility to nullify Ki Blast super attacks. There is so much defensive capability and so much damage from the stacking that Gohan just kind of has it all. For Gohan to be one of the EZA TURs off the back of the 10th anniversary, they done an amazing job with him because he is so good. So good. I don't mind. I knew you were gonna die. So good. Honestly, I really love this EZA. He's so good. Goku as a base form, also very good. Again, if you wanted to go past the 5 turns and stack up a bit more, if there are multiple turns and phases, then by all means go for it. You're just taking a bit more of a risk, but I definitely think it might be worth it. If you have dupes, definitely give some more dodge into this unit, especially because Gohan loses it, but then also additional dodge is definitely the best route to go. So I'll probably give him some dodge equips. But the base form is very good. The stacking is quick. It's easy. The exchange is already ready to go very quickly and ready to go in your back pocket. Gohan looks ridiculously good with the amount of defensive utility he has, along with putting out good damage. But then not only that as well, it's another unit that benefits from Gogeta's support and the 10th anniversary 220 lead. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Definitely probably to me, the best EZA TUR in the game. But I'll see you in the next one. Take care, have a great day, and post.